For more on this story and the tensions with Venezuela, let's bring in Michelle Caruso-Cabrera, CEO of MCC Global Enterprises, CNBC contributor, former anchor of such shows as this one. Michelle, this is escalating.
For sure.
Probably no surprise. I would say it's fair to say that the financial sanctions that were put on these countries a couple years ago that were lightly enforced, if at all, this is the next step. This is a designed step to kill the cash flow, I assume, from Maduro and others.
Yes, this tanker is part of the shadow fleet, as it's called. S&P Global says there's probably close to 1,000, maybe 18% of all tonnage capacity for tankers in the world are shadow fleet. These old tankers, they turn off the transponders, they change the flags, they change the names, etc., so that they can work for Venezuela, Russia, and Iran. And so, yes, this tanker was reported to be headed to Cuba, but the vast majority of Venezuela's oil goes to China. And this is certainly, to your point, an effort to curtail the cash flows to Venezuela. I think it's the same efforts they're making when they go after the drug boats as well, to curtail any cash that's going to the government, to pressure Maduro to leave his post as the leader of the country.
Can I ask, why the urgency right now for an issue? We've known about the dire conditions in Venezuela for years now. But why is this now rising to the level at which we're seeing the government ratcheting up its response and looking for some, I don't want to use the word regime change, but to that effect?
That's what they are looking for sure. I think we got a clue a week ago today when the national security statement, the new one, came out from the Trump administration. And one of the very specific things they say, one of their goals in there, is to eliminate the need for mass migration in the Western Hemisphere. You can read it right there. We want to ensure that the Western Hemisphere remains reasonably stable and well-governed enough and to discourage mass migration to the United States. Because remember, nearly 30% of the Venezuelan population left the country.
Right, and they've talked about changing their temporary status in the U.S. and all the rest of this. But so in other words, now every country that we are getting a lot of migrants from, we are putting on watch to say that your government we're holding responsible for what's happening, or is this a unique situation?
So I think yes to the first part, but this is also unique because they're the largest cause of migration in the Western Hemisphere. I mean, there are Syria to the Western Hemisphere, right? I mean, we're talking about 7 or 8 million people who have disrupted the situation in Peru, in Colombia, in all of the neighboring countries. They've really struggled with this huge departure of people because the situation was so dire there.